Utopian. A utopian future is a perfect, idealized society where technology and social progress have eliminated poverty, war, and disease. The core mechanism is usually a post-scarcity economy powered by technologies like matter replicators from Star Trek, which make all material goods free and abundant, and full automation where robots or AI handle all manual labor and administration. This is why you see sleek white cities like in the movie Tomorrowland, and citizens who work for personal fulfillment like exploring space or creating art, as seen in the Federation from Star Trek, which has no currency. A key differentiator from a dystopia is the focus on human potential and harmony with nature, often seen in Solarpunk, a subgenre of Utopia. However, the central conflict or catch is that utopias often hide a dark secret, like in the movie The Giver, where societal harmony requires the suppression of emotions and memories, or in the show The Orville, where a planet's perfect life is a simulation hiding a desolate reality. The tangible impact is that it represents humanity's highest dream, but forces us to ask if true perfection requires sacrificing individuality or if we would become stagnant without any struggle to define us. Dystopian. A dystopian future is a broken, oppressive society marked by extreme social control surveillance and a massive gap between the ruling elite and the oppressed masses. The core mechanism is power held by a totalitarian government like the Party in 1984, or a mega-corporation that uses propaganda, constant surveillance through telescreens, and thought police and fear to suppress the population. Key differentiators include the use of brutal peacekeeping forces like the Peacekeepers in the Hunger Games and the partitioning of society into distinct rigid districts or castes. These worlds are almost always warnings extrapolating current trends like income inequality, loss of privacy, and climate change to their worst possible outcome. The catch is that the story is always about rebellion, where a protagonist like Winston Smith in 1984 or Katniss Everdeen discovers the truth and fights back. The tangible impact is a profound human cost, the loss of individuality, freedom of thought, and often life on a massive scale, making the genre a powerful critique of unchecked authority and centralized control. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is defined by the phrase high-tech low-life. It's a future where radical technological advancement like cybernetic body enhancements called augmentations, fully sentient artificial intelligence, and immersive virtual reality, cyberspace exists side by side with massive social decay, urban overcrowding, and poverty in sprawling megacities. The core mechanism is the dominance of all-powerful megacorporations that have surpassed governments in power and influence. A key differentiator is its iconic aesthetic drawn from films like Blade Runner and books like Neuromancer, perpetual night, neon-lit, rain-soaked streets, and a mix of multiple languages and cultures. The most interesting twist is the genre's central theme of identity. It constantly questions what it means to be human when you can replace your limbs' eyes or even your memories with technology, a concept explored in Ghost in the Shell. The tangible impact is a society where the line between person and product is erased, leading to new forms of exploitation like corporate ownership of your modified body and new crimes like mind hacking or soul stealing. Post-Apocalyptic. A post-apocalyptic future is set in the aftermath of a civilization-ending catastrophe, which can be a nuclear war, as in The Book of Eli, a global plague like the zombie virus in The Walking Dead, or an environmental collapse. The core mechanism is the complete breakdown of all societal structures, governments, and supply chains, forcing survivors into a daily, brutal struggle for scarce resources like food, clean water, fuel, and ammunition. This is different from a dystopia because it's about the world after the entire system has fallen, not an oppressive system within a functioning society. The catch is that the apocalypse itself is just the backstory. The real narrative is about what happens next. New, often brutally simple societies form from the ashes, such as the militarized raider gangs in the Mad Max franchise or the theocratic dictatorship in The Postman. The tangible impact is a total reset for humanity, posing the ultimate question of whether we would revert to pure savagery or find a way to rebuild and learn from our past mistakes. Space opera. Space opera is a subgenre of science fiction that emphasizes large-scale, epic adventure across interstellar space. The core mechanism relies on technologies that enable its vast setting, like faster-than-light travel for hopping between star systems, energy weapons for epic space battles, and artificial gravity on massive starships. A key differentiator from hard sci-fi is that it often uses soft science. The exact mechanics are less important than the story, allowing for fantasy-like elements such as the Force in Star Wars or the prophesied hero in Dune. These stories typically feature a clear conflict between good and evil, sprawling galactic empires like the Imperium in Warhammer 40K, and ancient, powerful alien civilizations. The catch is that, despite the futuristic setting, the stories are often classic tales of romance, political intrigue, and war, just on a cosmic stage. The tangible impact is its ability to create a sense of wonder and scale, making it the most popular and visually spectacular form of sci-fi. Solarpunk. Solarpunk is a rapidly growing movement and aesthetic that acts as a direct, optimistic response to the grimness of cyberpunk and dystopian futures. It envisions a society that has successfully solved major ecological and social problems, living in harmony with nature through the use of renewable, sustainable technology. The core mechanism involves decentralized communities, beautiful green architecture integrated with plants, DIY science, and a focus on art and community well-being over corporate profit. A key differentiator is its visual style, which is the opposite of cyberpunk's gloom. Think bright, airy spaces, Art Nouveau designs, and vibrant community gardens. The catch, or central conflict, in these stories is rarely a villain, but rather the challenges of building, maintaining, and defending this utopian society against external threats or internal stagnation. The tangible impact of Solarpunk is that it provides a real, inspiring blueprint for a future we could actually build, focusing on regeneration and hope. Post-Scarcity. A post-scarcity future is one where advanced technology has made material goods, energy, and even services so abundant that they are available to all citizens for free, effectively rendering money and poverty obsolete. The core mechanism is a revolutionary technology like the matter replicator in Star Trek or the nanofabricators in the Culture series, which can instantly create any object from raw energy and atoms. This leads to the end of capitalism as we know it, where work becomes optional and people are free to pursue pure leisure, art, science, or self-improvement. The key differentiator is that this is often the economic engine that powers a utopian society. The catch, and the central philosophical question, is what provides meaning and structure to human life when the struggle for survival is removed? Without the need to work, would humanity advance to a higher state of existence or fall into decadence and boredom? The tangible impact is a society that challenges our most fundamental assumptions about value, ambition, and what drives us. Post-human. A post-human future is one where humanity, as a biological species, has been fundamentally altered or even replaced by its own technological creations. The core mechanism is the erasure of the line between human and machine, achieved through mind uploading, full-body cyborgization, or the creation of super-intelligent artificial intelligence. This is different from cyberpunk, where augmentation is common, but people are still recognizably human. Here, the very concept of human is outdated. Key examples include the digitally uploaded consciousnesses living in a simulation in the Matrix, the genetically engineered superhumans of the altered carbon universe, and the emergence of a dominant AI like Skynet. The catch, and the central philosophical dilemma, is if a perfect digital copy of your consciousness is made, is that still you? If our minds can be transferred to new bodies, what is the soul? The tangible impact is the potential for our own extinction, not by disaster, but by our own hand, as we evolve into something entirely new and possibly incomprehensible.